back from the dead.
How's it going, everyone here? So we are doing a special Dark and Light video today. We are joined by Horse Joke and Zephyr or Jimmy. You guys might know him as one or the other.
Hello.
Hey.
And we're going to do a little questionnaire. So we asked for you guys questions on Reddit and forums and in our videos. And we got stuff put together, and we're just going to run through them today. And hopefully that can, make you guys be a little more aware of where the game's heading, what its direction is, and get some of those burning questions answered.
So yeah, these are definitely the questions that you guys asked, and you're going to get the answers that you wanted today. So
exactly.
Pay attention and stay tuned through the whole thing because we got a lot of them.
Yeah, we definitely do. So we've broken it down into sections to kind of just, make it a little bit easier. And the first thing we've got is kind of just like the general questionnaire. So I believe we're going to be starting there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Masterclass and Z10-0 are asking, is there any plans for a character transfer system between servers?
Yes, there is actually a plan for us to do a character transfer. Right now, we're looking at February 2018 as the time where we release that feature. But for the time being, in a more short-term goal, we'd like the GM to have the ability to help player transfer to other servers, but we're still looking into that process.
Wow, okay, so that's really cool. Yeah, because the people were asking, what if the server pop dies and I want to take all my hard work with me? So that's definitely a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even expect to hear a date on that, so that's really cool.
That's really cool.
All right, next, Sad Bayag asks, is there an ETA that you guys can give on the console release or any information on its development?
The only thing I can say is that it will follow the PC full game release.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So there you go. So that gives them a bit of a window there.
Yep.
Nice. All right, next up, Karis KC and GG Gamer ask, are there plans to revamp the farming system?
Yeah, so we know it's a little expensive to farm right now. We're going to be making some balance changes to the duration of fertilizer, the items required to craft fertilizer, and just to keep up your farm. So in the last patch, we added a little timer to help see how much fertilizer you had left or how much irrigation.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It's a little buggy right now, but we're going to work on stuff like that just to make the whole process a little bit more, player-friendly.
Awesome. Great. Well, then we're moving on here to Edward, Carnaby, and Mr. Soda. They would like to know if there's going to be PvP updates to kind of help effectively balance the PvP, and if, how will you communicate with the community to kind of build what people are hoping for in the game for PvP?
So that's a really interesting one, pretty timely. We just had a chat with the director of the game, Shen, who is, we're working on something called a chaos server right now, which is going to be PvP. So it's a new server type with increased rates used for testing upcoming changes to PvP and just seeing the general state of PvP in the game.
Wow, okay, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so one of the big changes we made to offline rating, or just to rating in general, was the increase of structure health.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking into changes for that, so the chaos server will be used to see how the new health adjustments to structures are going to affect the game, and then using that before we implement it into the different server types like PvE and PvP.
Oh, that's actually really great. Yeah, so if that's what their focus is, they can go ahead and jump right into that.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get just maybe a few of these servers, maybe one at the start, just to get as many people on as possible at once to see what PvP looks like, and then move from there.
That's cool.
Dude, that's amazing. I like that. I'm probably going to have to jump on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely stoked to check that out as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Nat Thompson, LFDV, and Astosha would like to know, are there plans on adding larger storage containers due to the crafting needs of some items?
Yeah, definitely. This is something that I've read a bunch of feedback on, and short term, we'll be probably adding 10 extra slots in every single storage container that's out currently. In the future, we'll have better ones that can hold up to hundreds or even more. But yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, I think people are looking for something along the lines of like a vault, or something like that. Conan and Arquette both have them. and they've got some big inventory spaces. So yeah, I think that's awesome that you're also upgrading the current one.
Yep, and also like another thing that probably I want to teach you about is that there will be a vault, like it's going to be a bank. You're pretty much going to spend money to hold almost a infinite number of items that you have.
Ooh,
nice.
That's cool. That's a neat little teaser there.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice.
All right. Well, Zero the Pyro, Sitlin, the Fabulous, and Corey Mortloch would like to know if you can give an update on the following things: procedural map generation, goals of having 100 plus players on servers, the intended final world size, and will there be new biomes?
So everything on Arcos right now is handmade. We have no real way to implement procedural map generation based on our plans for the game. So all the caves that you see, all the terrain, everything is placed by hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I kind of prefer that because it gives that level of care that you can't really get with procedural.
Yeah, for sure. As for having other players on servers, it's possible for later on. Right now, we're just focused on stability with our current server size.
Right, of course.
Intended final world size, we can't really say right now. It's just, we'll play it by ear, see how much we can get done.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because we kind of have that map in the beginning, so
Yeah,
it's, right now it looks like such a tiny portion. So I think that's why people are asking.
Yeah, and it's all work in progress. That map may or may not be changed. It was just a way to show that this isn't the only.
That's not all there is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as for new biomes, absolutely. Yeah, we have some plans already.
Oh,
Nice.
I bet. Yeah, I can't wait to see. So that's
Because
awesome.
I could say like I absolutely love like everything on the map is right now, so I can't wait to see like the new stuff coming out for it.
Let's see. Tokay Remlock would like to know: is there more quest developments coming in? Are we going to see more lore? Are there going to be like NPCs that give us kind of, I guess, quests and story arc, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's always been a plan for us to kind of expand on the lore a little bit more, especially fans of the DNL franchise. But as far as that is concerned, it's still in the back burner for us, just because our focus is still on optimization. So once we can complete all the optimization and we feel comfortable with where the game is at, we can start finally focusing on building up the lore and building up that bestiary, to help players kind of get involved in that story arc.
Great, yeah, that's really
Nice.
cool because that's always something that helps people feel attached to the game.
Yep, absolutely.
Very cool. LFDV and Estosha would like to know if you could add a way to preview or know what would be unlocked when you rank up vendors.
Yeah, that's something that's definitely doable in the foreseeable future. A lot of these UI changes will just take time, just because like it touches many parts of the game that we like to do, but since that we're focused on so much on optimization, that's why we haven't had time to really just focus on that UI redo.
Yeah.
Right, you've got to get the functionality before the fine tuning.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, well that's good to hear. Bionic Fox and LFDV again would like to know what's the plans with the Lord system, and can you kind of explain how it works, because it's a bit confusing.
It's still very early work in progress. There were big plans for it, but right now it's on the back burner as we focus on some other more, I guess, easily digestible content.
Okay, so
we'll have more on that in the future. Maybe we'll just.
All right.
It's on the back burner.
Stay tuned. That's always good.
Yeah.
Bad Blood would like to know: when will you have a character interaction with the environments, with like hills, ledges, and so forth, be improved? So I think he's kind of talking about like when you're trying to walk up a hill that looks walkable, but you get stuck on it, and kind of just the improvement to the, I guess, the hitbox of the environment.
Yeah, we have some people who've been working on smoothing out the terrain. The way that on the back end, it's really complicated to change small areas of land. And optimizing by combining them into larger chunks to reduce data taken up on the server. So if we change one little thing, then it'll end up changing a lot of little things, and that's what leads to players' houses getting destroyed, or to areas becoming really buggy and creatures and players get stuck in them.
Right.
So we're slowly optimizing this.
Mhm.
There have already been a few little changes made, but it is a long, slow process, and we have to be careful with it because we've already had some instances where player houses have been destroyed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrain
most
changes.
definitely.
Well, it's good to hear you guys are taking the slow and practical route there because, yeah, it's. I think people don't want to lose stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
I think people, especially in other games, they get kind of scared when it gets to the point where all of a sudden they see in the dev post like all houses will be wiped due to updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we added that thing with the blue circles where,
Mhm.
Right.
where brain is being changed. That was okay. It was nice to show people what's going to be changed, but still, we got a lot of bad feedback from people who are like, "How could I have known the circle was going to show up here?"
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so we're taking it much slower now.
Well, that's cool. That's great. Michael's Vincent would like to know: are there going to be adjustments to the faction system, and more along the lines of like, don't have to have everyone put in the pin code, maybe like a sharing system. Also, would that like extend into like alliances?
It's possible. We didn't the cast members, or if we hear enough feedback on it, for sure we can always implement little quality of life changes like that. It would probably just be something lower on the priority list.
Okay, awesome. All right, we've got Haven asking, can you share your current philosophy for endgame content, and are there plans to release a public roadmap?
So endgame is a weird question that we get a lot. As a open world survival game, endgame can take on so many different forms for different players. So some players collect everything, some players want to tame every creature, someone just wants to build a huge house. So as far as content goes, we have a lot more plans for dungeons, caves, different biomes, new creatures, more knowledge nodes, items, magic. It's just adding on to what we have now, along with the our plans for optimization. So we don't really have a public roadmap that we can share right now, but I think players will be able to see what direction we're going as we continue with our plan right now for monthly content updates.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And then Haven also asks, is there going to be a reason to go into the oceans?
Yes. I know the ocean takes a large part of Arcus, and then players, not being able to utilize that ocean. But our plan is to have a water-based dungeon in the ocean that players will be able to travel to eventually and make use of future vehicles that will be traversing that ocean.
Ooh,
Very
nice.
cool.
Very
Very
nice.
cool. I assume we'll see some tames as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Great. Nice. What we have here then on kind of the subject of tames, we've got maybe 7 or 8 different people ask this one, and they're asking, can you start doing creature dossiers? So, of course, they're associating it with Arc again, but more or less they're asking, is there a way more or less for you guys to hype up the population by maybe releasing teasers for the new creatures before they're announced for a patch?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I would probably work on with our art team. So yeah, I would say it's possible. It's something that we wanted to do, but our development process is really quick. So we usually push out the content as fast as we can when it's stable. So it's just a timing thing that we have to work on. But yeah, it's possible.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that was one that we got tons of people asking on. So it's I think it's always good to have some hype going to get people excited for future stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we've also got a few kind of like general questions here. What are plans to improve base building for the following issues? Not being able to raise foundations with uneven terrain, enemies and creatures being able to attack through walls. Are there plans for traps, and will we see triangle manor parts?
So back on the terrain issue, like I said, that's all handcrafted, and there's going to be some little bumps here and there that make it difficult for construction. and then changing that is a really difficult process as well. So the inability to raise foundations is just something that we don't have the functionality for right now. But it's something we could look into, because I know that difficulty of construction is always a big part of the feedback that we get from players.
Yeah, definitely. You're like, okay, I'm going to make a 6x4 here, and then all of a sudden you realize the last piece of the 4 wide on one side that can't be placed, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
So,
there's some workarounds, like building ceilings on top of pillars, but it's not ideal. So we can always look into improving it. But
excellent.
Yeah. Hitboxes and animations, as far as attacking through walls, that's not intended. So we've been adjusting some creature attack animations and their hitboxes to stop them from moving too far forward or too far back when they're attacking.
Okay, great. So that's
traps.
a work in progress.
Yep. Traps are planned. We have one actually being added in a patch that we have planned for tonight. So that'll be cool.
Very cool.
And then Triangle Manor parts. Right now, we actually, it may sound strange, but adding Triangle Manor parts would add a lot of data costs to the game, which we can't really do. So, yeah, I mean, Jimmy, did you have any more context for that?
Yeah, just because each part, because how our game calculates decay, each component of a building costs one calculation. Just think of it as a single tick. So let's say if your house is uses 15 by 15 parts, and then you're building it however high, it calculates each piece, each wall, each foundation, each window as as a tick.
Right.
So yeah, like
it's an entity count kind of situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that answers that pretty well. Seamus and a lot of other in the community have asked, can you share and talk about some future items, such as better utility items and RP items?
Yeah, we definitely understand that there is a bunch of frustration when it comes to just items utility. So we are planning to make some items that have better utilities. Just like, for example, one that's coming up is the sickle. Giving players a better sickle to collect a specific grass, which in the future we want to release better fertilizer. Farming process. So that is something. But we also planning on more items. But we'll talk more as we progress. But that's for the items specifically. But for RP items, we did one for Halloween already. With the goblin.
Yeah.
So we are planning to do more for for each holiday. Like for example, with Christmas coming up, we have a Krampus themed Christmas thing. So yeah, look forward to that.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. I'm stoked for that. That sounds fun. That's great. Yep. This is another one that's been big. Specifically, Goku and Haelolin ask, when are we going to see? Well, when or if it's going to be a possibility, the ability to paint and dye items, clothing, armor, creatures.
The plan is this December.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Wow! We got
a date, guys.
A date and everything. Look at that.
Also,
nice.
But yeah, that's the plan.
That is the plan.
Sweet. Everyone loves their customizations. It's what makes your stuff yours,
Yep, absolutely.
Next up, is there a chance you guys can add an option to disable the chat and quest box?
Yeah, it's definitely a work in progress, along with the UI changes that we want to do. So whenever we can get around to fixing that UI, we will add that to the list.
Great. Okay. So again, look for those UI changes, and they will try to put that in as an option. So yeah, I know it bothers a lot of people, also particular streamers, because it takes up such a big space on the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's definitely been a big question in the community. This is also another burning question. If first person is still going to be a thing, and if not, why?
So I'm going to have to disappoint a lot of people right now. First person is most likely not going to be possible for Dark and Light. We've had a lot of discussions about it, and we've seen all the on the Steam discussions forums, on Reddit. It's just because Dark and Light's animations and gameplay mechanics really aren't optimized for first person. It's just not the way the game was developed, so we probably won't be seeing it.
Okay, well there you go. You guys got your final answer on it. So that should hopefully at least give some people some restitution there.
Right.
Next, the people have been asking, is there a way to that you guys can kind of, again, this is a UI question, I guess, more or less, allow the ability to see the full stats of each gear item?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this question, I would give it to you guys. Be like, well, give me a set of things that you like to see as stats on the UI that you would like us to show. Then we can absolutely do that.
All right, so there you guys go. It's in your hands now. They passed it back and said what stats is important and what do you want to see. So
yeah, definitely hit them up on their forums and everything else. Let them know.
Yeah, you can leave a question, or you can leave your suggestions on our I can't talk. On our comment sections, and we can go ahead and hand it off to these fellas as well for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Oh, sorry. Continue, please.
No, I said I'll look forward to it.
Oh, you look forward to it. Okay. Yeah, the mic cut out a little bit there at the end. So, let's see. The other big one, people are asking if you guys can add a option to disable friendly fire against tribes, allies, and your creatures, or at the very least for small spaced areas like dungeons.
If we see enough feedback about it, we can talk about it internally. I don't think I've seen too much about this, but if players are going through black ice and knocking each other out all the time, then yeah, that could be an issue. So.
Yeah,
it kind of happened to us a few times.
Yeah. we've definitely been on that one.
Yeah, we can chat about it.
Well, there, you guys heard it. So if you want to see it happen, you got to make it known that it's something you want to see. So they are listening to the feedback, so you got to voice up on it.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Next up, we've got what are your plans with the decay system? I know it's a thing that a lot of people are jumping back and forth and either angry or happy about right now.
Yeah. So our last patch saw big changes to the decay system. I don't know if you guys caught that. I think it was on this Tuesday. So straw and wood houses still decay after 3 days, but then it increases for each tier of structure. So now stone is at, I believe, 5 days. Metal is at 6 days, or it could be 6 and 7 now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, manor tier structures are 14 days before decaying.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, so we have made changes to it.
That's great.
I know a lot of RP players like to keep their houses as straw and wood.
Right.
So it's not an ideal solution, but Jimmy also has something to bring up about that.
Yeah, so we've been playing around with the idea of like when player has the house seal up, it will delay the decay time.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that let's say you're gonna take a hiatus for a month. You're like, well, I'm gonna farm enough magic essence to keep my house seal up long enough that it'll last through that month, and then so I can come on. Unless someone declare war on me, my house won't disappear when I'm logged in after a week or a month.
Oh, that's a great solution.
That's really good.
Yeah, we had a few people ask, like, is there a vacation button? Like, so there you go. Yeah. You got to do a little bit of calculation there and do a bit of farming, and you'd be set. So that's excellent.
Yep,
that's very good. And then our last general question here is: do you guys plan on doing like a monthly community blog to answer questions like this in the future, or are you going to continue doing these roundtables with us or other people in the community?
Yeah, I could set something like that up. Just it depends on which platform is going to be the best for it. So I could probably put something up on Reddit starting next month and gather a few questions from the community, and then just answer it there. Maybe do another video. Maybe produce our own video. We'll figure something out for it. But yeah, that's easy enough.
Great. All right. Well, RePuG, take away magic.
All right, now we're to my section. I've been looking forward to this one. All right, so we're going to be covering the magic section with this one, guys. First question we got is Scatlander and some other people wanted to know, can you go into detail about the magic system and offer a roadmap to how it works and the changelog of spells that will show the increases of spells such as healing that don't seem to match the difficulty of the gameplay or the game the way it is right now? So I think what they're like looking for is like an actual, like, if you guys could put up a roadmap on your forums to where they can follow along to see what you guys are planning with magic.
Roadmap would be a little bit tough for us just because Magic for us has been quite a challenge when it comes to balancing. You know, in the beginning, Magic was pretty overpowered, but then eventually we did some tuning passes, and now it's become the opposite spectrum. So it will take a little bit more tweaking, but I think we have a great idea of like how to make it balanced for Magic users, where it's easy to use and like player friendly for new players, and like for old players, it's powerful enough to help you complete end game content. Yeah, but as far as like giving you guys a roadmap, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We'll need to talk a bit more and come up with a good solution before we present it to the community.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Let's see. German, I'm trying to remember how you said to pronounce this name. Can you help me with this one?
Honestly, I have no day.
This is why.
Ilya Davev?
Yeah. We'll just call you Ilya.
Let's just go with that.
Ilya had a few questions. With the increase of spell durability, or will there be an increase of spell durability to match the cost that it takes to make them?
We've made a few small balance changes to spells by changing their durability. Their power is directly tied to their durability, so the most powerful spells will only be able to fire off a few shots before breaking. That's the design behind it. Yeah, so if there are certain spells that just are underperforming because they don't have enough durability, then we can always look into improving that.
Okay. Let's see. The next one is it intended for the offhand spells such as Cobweb to take damage when you receive melee damage?
It definitely isn't an intended behavior.
It's not.
Okay, that's good to know. A lot of people are wondering, I guess because it sits in the shield spot, I'm assuming is kind of how it's working, or.
Yeah, it's because it sits in the shield slot instead of like another. We need to like pretty much create another slot that has the different attack behind it, where it's saying, oh, this is a offhand and not a shield. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So not intended. Future fixes in the works.
All right, and here's one that a lot of people asked. With the different spells that you guys have been adding, such as like the shape shifting and stuff from Halloween or Goblin, will there possibly be seeing a necromancy branch in the future?
Maybe not a dedicated necromancy branch, but it does fall under dark magic. And we do have some dark magic-y stuff being added in our patch tonight. Not spell, but nice. So there's some cool stuff people will be able to play around with. Yeah,
and there might be some more in the future too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, great.
Okay, and then this is another one that a lot of people asked. With the game being focused, a lot of focus being on magic and stuff like that, will there eventually be more spells for taming, such for like exotic creatures and higher end creatures, to where you could use magic instead of the actual bow and hook arrows system?
Luckily for you guys, yes, this is something we've been talking about and thinking about for quite a long time. And yes, it's a work in progress, but there is no timeline for the release yet.
Hey, at least it's being talked about, and it's a work in progress. So that's good enough for me. That means it's possibly on the way, guys. We just gotta look to the future.
Definitely, that's very cool.
Yep.
All right, German. Now we're into items. Here you go.
Yeah, so we got a few item-specific questions. First off, we're starting with: will we see the return of hang gliders? And is there repairable hang gliders? And will there be other flight items?
Maybe. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff we want to do, but to be able to do is still up in the air. Right now, it's just a hard maybe.
Okay, hard maybe. There we go. For nostalgia's sake, will the snowboards make a return?
There's no tech for that right now. I know it was a big thing for like shield sledding in the original iteration of Dark Knight. But yeah, right now that would be a lot of work for us.
Okay. Yeah, no, I actually had to look that one up. I was like, wait, snowboards, what? And I looked it up. It was actually kind of cool. So I was like, oh, all right. So we had that one there. Next question is, are there plans for transportation other than mounts, such as maybe pullable carts or vehicles?
Yeah, originally we had the Dragon Bus that transport, with the idea to transport from players from one city to the next.
Right.
It was removed just because it was so buggy, but we hope to implement it back
Okay.
eventually, and that will be the main form of transportation from one city to another.
Ooh, nice. Yeah,
That's very
I
cool.
remember from our first night when we were trying to get from different city to different city. It is a dangerous trek on foot.
Yeah. Yeah, especially early on in the game.
Yep.
So that's very cool. That's very cool. So with the addition of the new blunderbuss, are there future plans for more firearms in the game?
Yeah, we got some automatic weapons, some AKs, grenades, just really, really high tech stuff. No, we're not going to do that. Everything that we're going to be. We saw a few threads of these on our forums. Actually, people really concerned that we're going to take the game in a completely different direction. But no, it's a fantasy game. Anything we're going to add is going to be within the realm of Dark and Light's lore and background. There are some plans for additional firearms, but nothing we can really share too much about right now.
Yeah. I assume you guys would stick to lore, so it'd probably be something more like a flintlock or a cannon, that kind of stuff, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so don't worry, guys. No AKs.
Unless you guys want it. I'm just kidding.
They've also asked, will there be options for roleplay clothing, and is that something that is going to be added to the game?
Unfortunately, clothing is a very expensive part of just the optimization part. So adding more clothes just means that we need to, take away something. So it's either we have, bigger and better looking environments or more clothing. We can't have both, unfortunately.
Right. And what about compromise, like a skin that you could put over your armor?
Yeah, the costumes and stuff, it is something that we're looking into. I know that we kind of showed off that portion in the UI, like on pets, having costumes.
Right.
Yeah, we're still looking into like making that a possibility for players as well.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Next, they're asking, or more or less stating, armor seems to break a little too quickly within, one swipe or two from even some of the, not as powerful creatures. And it seems like the cost of repairing them is just a little too high. Is there plans to balance that anytime soon?
Yeah, for sure. It's part of it is due to the way that durability damage is calculated, which still needs some work. And then we'll also just be improving the durability system overall, increasing it on the current armor sets and making new ones a little bit more durable, and maybe reducing the damage overall that creatures do to it.
Okay, awesome, great. Yeah, that was definitely a big question with the community. The next question is, will we have the ability to imbue and enchant items to buff them, such as similar to the new forging system you added?
Absolutely. In the future, that is something that players will be able to do.
Okay, great, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everyone likes doing their hard work and then being able to upgrade it. So
right, absolutely.
Cool. Next, will we be able to use things in town, such as the tables and chairs that are inside, the taverns and so forth?
It's cool for RP, but right now, so if players were with us from day one, they'll remember that the towns were a huge center of like lag and slow performance.
Right.
So
that's one of those things that would add to it.
Yeah, the cities are super expensive right now. We want to keep them. We don't want to get rid of cities, but we just need to continue optimizing before we add functionality like that.
Okay, there we go.
That makes sense.
Then we also have a question that kind of ties back kind of to the triangle pieces, but are there plans for rounded elven structures, since humans and dwarves have gotten them?
Are you guys talking about the round pieces not being similar across the three factions, or
basically? Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah.
Oh, if that's the case, then yeah, we can look into fixing that. I didn't even know that that was an actual case of the between the three different factions.
Yeah, it's at least last time I played, since I chose Elven for my build, the humans have a few like window pieces, and the dwarves have a lot of curved, really nice pieces, but you only have square foundations.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a lot of people are kind of asking about that, or if that's just something that's special to the humans and dwarves.
Right.
Yeah, no, we're looking to fill in that in. We'll
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then our last item question is what's up with the Goblin Club? Is it staying? Is it intended? Is it supposed to knock things out the way it is? And will it be removed? Is it adjusted? So there's a lot of crisscross on the Goblin Club for sure out there.
Yeah, the Goblin Club was implemented for mainly PvP purpose. So whatever for PvP, it's supposed to be really good at knocking people out.
Right.
But as far as PvE is concerned, it's not that effective, and it's going to be in the game unless players are complaining that's too broken or too overpowered. Then we can tune it. But for now, it's going to be it'll be in the game.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen a few videos, but there's some videos out there of people clubbing legendaries to sleep.
Oh. Gotcha.
Maybe 10 or 12 people with goblin clubs in their full hotbar, 5 or 6 of them, and just beating a Colossus into submission. So
it is working as intended in that capacity. It's removing Constitution, but
right.
It's possible that it might be a little too extreme. So we'll look into it. We'll chat with the designers about that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what people were asking.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
All right, RePuG, back off to you for creatures.
All right, so here we go with the creature questions. First one is from Dante Laylor. With the introduction of werewolves for Goblin, will we possibly see a chance for vampires in the future?
Maybe. Hard maybe.
Yeah, another hard maybe.
Right, another hard maybe. All right, then moving along, the next one, our question comes from Mind of One, Big Rat 1969, and Isla again. Because I don't know how to say your name. Will there be more dragons, and when will they get their flame attack back?
Yeah, I know this is a huge question for everyone, and a lot of complaints that we kind of disabled the dragon breath, but we are looking to fixing it, and we're looking to release it in the next 2 months. Mm-hmm. So hopefully after this dragon fix, we can release more dragons that are better suited for PvP and PvE. So we just been waiting for that dragon breath fix because that's very highly exploitative. So
it definitely was.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I mean, it needed to be nerfed or blocked for a time being. So definitely.
Yeah.
So, well, that's very cool. You guys got a rough time period on that, so I think that should make people pretty happy to hear.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So the next one is from LFDV. Are elementals going to be updated to make them more worth the cost of farming, or more worth the cost of farming to actually tame them and have them?
So I think I've seen a few things from players about just how much it costs in terms of magic shards and regents to revive the elemental creatures.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty simple balance change we could make. We just have to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And then they are supposed to each have their own unique functionality. Some of it's just not implemented properly yet. I guess not technically an elemental, but treants are supposed to help with your farming along with the water elementals.
Mm-hmm.
So more things like that would be fun to see. And we have some plans for it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, and will soul stones be allowed to be overwritten?
Probably not. It's just the system is already a little bit buggy, pretty buggy. We're not going to sugarcoat it. So we want to work out the bugs of the system first with reviving the creatures at the intended level that you stored them at. Allowing them to be overwritten would add a lot of confusion and additional bugs to the system. So probably not right now.
Okay. And then let's see, moving along, we have That Fabulous. He wants to know, what is the planned purpose for focus and magic stats on creatures?
So the original plan for the focus and focus and magic stat was to have those creatures have a magic attack to it. But since like the dragon breath, for example, had a very exploitive attack, we had to disable a lot of the magic that was going to come with these creatures that we released. So once we figure out a good fix and tuning of that magic attack, we can start rebalancing and then adding that back to the current creatures.
Okay.
That's very cool.
Very cool. Let's see. And will there be a way to add armor or upgrades that will increase your armor on your saddles for your creatures?
Yes, there is a plan to gem your saddles that increases your creature's attributes as well as armor.
Ooh, okay,
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can we please talk about the noise the V-Rock makes, and is it a way to tone it down?
Sometimes in nature's birds just sound annoying, right? So.
Yeah, that's. I remember on Reddit there was this post, and this dude put 6 of them in a circle, and it's just 3 minutes of their squawking.
Yeah,
I personally like the V-Rock.
Yeah,
we probably have some work to do on the audio, but
that's funny, man. You guys have to remember it's early access, so sometimes there's things get overlooked.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if they still do it, but the regular Cyclops, when you knock them out, they make this like bear snoring noise, like repeatedly on a chain or something, and it was just nonstop and loud, and I was cracking up when it happened. Yeah, you gotta love that kind of stuff.
There's some weird audio loops that go on, so we've got some more work to do with audio.
Yeah, we're combing through all the audio right now, and our main focus right now is kind of improving the the combat audio currently, like just all the weapon swings, all the magic attacks and stuff like that. So.
Cool, nice. So it's a continuing work in progress.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next question: are there plans to make the black ice creatures tameable?
No, unfortunately not. They're a little bit too overpowered, especially the spider that spits out acid.
Yeah, I was thinking it might be a little too strong.
Yeah, those are PvE only right now.
All right.
That's special to the dungeon.
Yep.
That's a challenge.
Yep.
Okay, and so that means you guys can stop trying to go in there and lure them out or take them with soul stones and stuff like that.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
All right.
I'll admit I tried with the soul stones.
Yeah. I remember that painful day of us trying to do that. Will mythical creatures ever be able to gather?
No. We had it like that a few months before early access launch. I was walking through the forest and punched a group of trees with a colossus, and the server crashed. That's only one issue with it. They're just not really meant for that. They're meant for being status symbols and for combat, not for gathering. So no, they'll never be able to gather. But there will be creatures that are suited more for gathering and for carrying things.
Nice. Okay.
Mythicals aren't meant for that.
All right, and then this is the last question of the creature pack. The Pegasus as a mythical creature doesn't seem to be as strong as the others. Will there be a plan to buff it to the levels of the other creatures in its tier?
Yes, definitely. We will definitely buff it. We didn't realize that was that underpowered.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I noticed too. We just tamed one recently. We named it Horse Joke, actually. And,
They're saying that you're the weakest
really
one.
Hard to zap things with it.
Yeah, the aiming on it. There's a delay for the unicorn as well for its ranged attack. So it's got some more work to do compared to the other mythicals for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
All right.
Well, that pretty much wrapped up all the questions. There's one from the general I kind of left at the end because it seemed like an appropriate one to kind of throw there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people always put this really harshly to you guys, but I mean, the general question is, what are your plans to re-entice people to come back to Dark and Light?
So, it's an early access game, right? We have a lot of work to do with the game yet, so we're not doing any really sizable marketing pushes right at this moment. Mm-hmm. We're just continuing to optimize. We're still supporting the game. Snail's a pretty sizable company. We have a lot of support for the title. So, we're just continuing to work on it. And then once we have the game closer to its full launch or closer to a more stable state where we're more confident with it, that's when we'll start really pushing with free weekends, other opportunities to get people in the game and just show them how it's improved.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah, because I think most people are just kind of scared. Like they love the game so much, but they they don't want to see it disappear. So it's it's good to hear from your mouths. It's not going anywhere. You're just waiting till the game is at that closer to the gold state.
Yeah, for sure.
So
nice.
But yeah, that wraps it up. I mean, this is awesome that you guys took out the time to go ahead and answer these questions for the community. There's a lot of companies out there that wouldn't take the time for it. So it's
we're happy to
appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely really happy to do it.
Awesome.
Anything else for them, RePuG?
No, I'm just really happy that you guys, like, German said that you guys did this. I know that I have a lot of people that watch my channel that just absolutely love Dark and Light, so this will actually entice them to, really stay tuned in the game. Like, I think it's going to make them feel more personal with the game now.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. No, we really appreciate the content you guys have put out for it so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Most definitely. We love the game.
You gave us a great platform to work on, so.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to keep in tune and check out our channels. Be sure to keep up with the dev blogs. There's lots of great information there. They post directly to Steam, so, I mean, it's not hard to find them. It's just a click away. A lot of questions can be answered that way. They've been really great at updating everything for people. So check that out. Don't forget to sub to our channels, and we'll see you next time.
Laters.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Back from the dead.